Britain isn't protesting anymore, it's breaking. 3 nights of chaos, 114 injured, 91 pounds million reduced to ash and rubble. November 5th, 2025, 8:42 p.m., Belfast city centre. The Union Jack doesn't fly tonight, it burns. Across Northern Ireland, 37 migrant hotels go up in flames as more than 100,000 people spill into the streets. It's not just Belfast. London, Derry, Antrim, Newcastle. The fires burn at every major city. This isn't civil unrest anymore. It is the biggest uprising to hit the UK in a decade. And Westminster? Silent. If you want the full truth, the part the mainstream won't show, subscribe now. What happens next only gets darker. The targets aren't random. These are strategic strikes. Government-funded migrant hotels costing taxpayers £189 per night per person. One alone, the King's Crown Hotel in Lisburn, drains £7.88 million per year. Tonight, it is nothing more than charred steel and powdery brick. Outside Belfast's High Street Hotel, riot police form a trembling wall of shields. Behind them, a shelter that once housed 230 asylum seekers is consumed by flames. Fire crews report 19 separate arson attacks in just 24 hours. Derry, Lisburn, Ballymena, every city has become a battlefield. Every name, a headline. In the midst of chaos, a young nurse, Sophie Mallister, spoke out as she stood on the side of a road in East Belfast, the rain drenching her jacket, as she broadcast live to thousands. My rent went up 41% this year, she said, her voice breaking. They tell us there's no money for healthcare, no money for housing, no money for us. But there's money for this. She pans to the orange glow on the skyline. In 6 hours, her video has reached 3.2 million views. The algorithm doesn't lie, neither does the fury in the comments. She's not alone. Thomas Reed, an elderly veteran, walks past the ruins of the King's Crown Hotel, a soot-stained Union Jack draped over his shoulders like a funeral shroud. His voice is steady, but hollow. I fought for this country. I bled for this flag. But I don't recognize this place anymore. By evening, every network replays his words. BBC, Sky News, every channel. Because this isn't anger anymore. It's abandonment, betrayal. A generation that built this nation now watches it crumble. And the people, they're no longer asking for answers. They're demanding them. Across the UK, the same chant rises from every street. Where is Westminster? But Westminster has nothing to give, only silence disguised as bureaucracy. 9 p.m. An encrypted Home Office memo is leaked. A file that was never supposed to see daylight. 4 words in paragraph 3 spark nationwide panic. Northern Command overstretched. A line further. Emergency protocols activated. Military deployment pending. Approval never came. At 10:27 p.m., the price of delay is paid. The first wave storms the grounds of Parliament. Barricades bend, fences fold like paper. Tear gas is used for the first time since the riots in 2013. Reporters describe it as a heartbeat of panic. Boots, batons, bodies colliding in the dark. 10:45 p.m. Finally, Downing Street speaks. Not a plan, not a solution, just 3 lines of political sedative. The Prime Minister condemns the violence. Public safety is our priority. Dialogue shall continue. Dialogue, a word that feels obscene when flames devour concrete and steel. But the dialogue didn't end tonight. It ended long before the first hotel burned. It ended when Sophie's rent doubled and her hospital lost funding. It ended when Thomas Reed realized the country he fought for no longer fought for him. Behind closed doors, the truth is even darker. Intelligence briefings reveal a nation slipping beyond control. Channels of communication monitor encrypted chatter. Crowds moving city to city, every hour shifting. Every message auto-deleting. Police drones jammed, cellular towers burned, cabinet memos leak warnings, containment impossible, public mood volatile, immediate intervention required or risk systemic collapse. Systemic collapse. Words that don't appear in official documents unless something is already broken. The regional desk of MI5 tracks 52 encrypted channels that coordinate crowd movements in real time across 6 cities. Every hour, the channels change. Moderators use VPNs. Messages self-delete. It's a digital battlefield. Police drones over Belfast malfunctioned twice in less than half an hour. Cell towers in Coleraine are set on fire. Inside the Cabinet Office, a leaked memo lands with the Guardian. Containment impossible. Public mood volatile. Recommend immediate intervention or risk systemic collapse. Systemic collapse. words that never appear in official documents except when the collapse is already occurring. By 11 p.m., energy traders start raising alarms. Oil depots in Belfast and Larne report civilian blockade attempts. Fuel trucks are forced to reroute. Distribution networks fracture within hours. Fuel availability across Northern Ireland drops 19%. Hospitals switch to backup generators. Ambulances ration diesel. In Westminster, still drafting statements. Midnight arrives, and with it, a brutal truth. This is no longer local, it's global. One phrase dominates every trending chart: number Britain on fire. In 12 hours, it reaches 64 million impressions, surpassing the 2024 general election, the Queen's funeral, and every major political event of the last decade. This is more than just a hashtag, it's a movement. Social media is on fire with images. Riot officers knelt in front of crowds, their caption reading, "We serve the people, not the politicians." Some take off their helmets in solidarity. Others weep openly. The thin blue line isn't bending, it's breaking. And the question echoing through every command room, if the police stop defending the government, who will? By dawn, the impact is staggering. Consumer confidence has plunged 8% overnight. 1.2 billion is wiped from retail markets in one session. And flights from Belfast to Dublin surge 46%. When citizens flee their own country for a weekend of peace, these aren't just numbers, they're symptoms. Britain is unraveling. November 6th, 11:55 a.m., Westminster. Cameras roll. The nation holds its breath. Prime Minister Keir Starmer steps to the podium, gripping a single sheet titled National Stability Address. He clears his throat. My government condemns the violence in Northern Ireland and reaffirms our commitment to unity. No mention of migrant hotel contracts. No mention of MI5 warnings. No Sophie. No Thomas. Just the familiar lullaby of political platitudes. Reporters shout questions. Prime Minister, will you suspend the asylum hotel program? Will you go to Belfast? Do you take responsibility for this crisis? He doesn't answer. He turns. He walks away. The broadcast cuts to black. Outside, the streets roar louder. By nightfall, the figures are devastating. 142 injured, 53 arrested, 91 million in damages, 27 police officers hospitalized. Public trust sinks to 22%, a record low. Foreign media coins a new term, the Starmer collapse. In Brussels, a European diplomat tells Reuters off the record, Britain once exported stability. Now it exports chaos. CNN airs a chilling segment, Is Britain Ungovernable? For the first time, no one has an answer. Al Jazeera asks the question that the world is whispering. Has the UK lost control? From the outside, it looks like Britain's burning. But the cameras aren't showing everything. Something real, something quiet, something the algorithm never rewards. In the back streets of Belfast, away from chaos and headlines, another story is unfolding. Strangers who stood on opposite sides just hours ago now pass blankets through shattered windows. A young migrant woman, still shaking with a fire that almost claimed her life, helps an elderly shopkeeper lift his fallen sign back into place. No cameras, no speeches, no politicians claiming credit. Only people doing what governments appear to have forgotten, care. At a small church near Donegal Square, volunteers light candles for the injured. Catholic, Protestant, immigrant, local, each flame small, stubborn, equal. For all its pain, Belfast remembers something Westminster has long ignored: how to hold itself together when no one else will. Outside the charred remains of the King's Crown Hotel, a teacher named Eileen picks up a piece of chalk and writes on the scorched wall, "Forgiveness builds what fury burns." By sunrise, her words have spread across every platform, shared more than any riot clip, engaged with more than any political statement. Because beneath the roar of collapse, people recognize what truly matters. Not who we blame, but who we choose to become. Britain is a country rebuilt from rubble to rooftops, blitz to rebirth, war into welfare, and silence to song. This country has burned before, and each time it rose again, not because the government decreed it, but because ordinary people refused to let it die. Perhaps tonight's fire is not an end. Perhaps it is a beginning, a question we have avoided for far too long. How much anger does it take to remember empathy? The flames will burn out. They always do. The buildings will rise. They always have. But the lesson written in Belfast's smoke will remain etched into a generation's memory. Strength is not control. Strength is not force. Strength is the compassion which survives the chaos. So once again, it falls to Britain. Is this a riot or a reckoning? A collapse or an awakening? Are we the flames or the hands passing blankets through broken windows? Tell us in the comments. Your voice is one of the last uncensored truths. And if you believe truth still matters, if you believe Britain deserves better than silence and spin, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Silence wins only when people stop listening. This is Brit Alert News. You stand for truth, so do we. Britain has just opened its eyes. And what happens next? That's up to you.